Hey, what's up, you guys? Come on in. Hey, Audrey. What's up, Audrey? I see Audrey is on here for hot tea. Stacy, I see you guys. Weston has requested to come in on the live, so let's get him in here. Okay. Tea talk with your girl. I see you guys, Shanita. I see you all. Chance to like go live together, so I'm excited. I feel like we always do these amazing collaborations. We put out these beautiful pieces, these beautiful photos, but we're tired. We're so tired after the shoots. We're so tired after the shoots, we don't never get to go live
we
together.
always
So
we always tired, man. And you came in. First of all, just let me talk about your work ethic really fast. If
uh,
there are three women in the industry that I know work really hard all the time,
mm-hmm.
it's Beyonce, Erica Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's Melody Cherie. Those are
What?
the three women that I know that are always like on the move and always consistently working. And if y'all
Yeah,
haven't seen it, one thing I will say is that you always come in the building and you always deliver. Okay,
thank you.
like you're gonna always deliver. I don't care what it is. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what you put on. Melody is always like, "Can we try this? Let's try that." She'll tie it up in the waist. Like your style eye is so good, and I
Thank
think that
you.
the ladies that are watching that are going to be on here buying for themselves or for a daughter or for a friend or
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
whomever, I think that you embody something that makes people feel like there's some relatability,
Yeah,
and then it's
yeah.
something that they can aspire to get. And it's not only something that they can aspire to get, but it's something that they can
Affordable.
actually get. It's
Yeah.
affordable.
Yeah. And I commend you for that because, I feel like, of course, every time, every time I walk you guys into the J Bolin see, first of all, let me just say, I will tell you, your aura is always so positive, so uplifting, and that is why we're able to vibe. Let's go. What's next? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Um, but the fact, that for me, and I shared this with you earlier. You guys who are on here who've been following me, you guys know I just had my mimosas with Melody, and Jay Bolin unfortunately wasn't able to attend at the last minute, but he was the recipient of the Leading Ladies Living Legacy Award because that is what
Wow.
he's so many ladies in confidence and level of how to put pieces together that we never would have thought to put together. That we never would have thought to put together, okay? And you make it fashion, you make it a statement, and you make it impressionable, Jay. And that is what you do. There's nobody, I don't care what, and I walked in several fashion shows. I've been to Paris, I've been to New York. There is no one that I've met yet who even halfway meets where you are when it comes to your
Wow.
eye, your attention to detail, and then your energy and vibe that you give off. Because let me just say this, I got to give you your flowers. Some people, when they've worked with celebrities, I mean, let's be real, y'all. Jay Bolin's portfolio speaks for itself. Tyra Banks, Erica Campbell, Tasha Cobbslin, like he's worked with everybody. Okay, see him on Good Morning America. See him on Tamara Hall. Okay, that's Jay Bolin. Okay, but your humility and the love that you show, no matter how many heights you've gotten to, that is what makes you unique. You're not nasty. You don't have a nasty attitude. You don't have a nasty disposition. I clearly see what I would say God's love in you. So that's why I
Wow.
never mind coming here to work with you.
When I say you be on the first plane, kicking and ticking across the air, baby, Mel be ready. That's why, I love that when you come in the building, you bring such good energy, even when you're tired. Like you were up till 2:30 this morning. You got here this morning. I needed to adjust the time. You were flexible. You
Yeah.
came in and you didn't even ask any questions. I just love that you trust me so much now.
Yeah.
Like Mel just comes in and just sits in the chair. She was like, "Okay, you want me to have this hair? Okay, cool. You want me to have this makeup?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool." So what? Like literally, I totally appreciate you, but I want to say thank you for giving me flowers as a creative. I think that a lot of creatives on here, y'all can put in the comments if you're creative and if you've never felt like flowers given to you. It is difficult when you're rolling, you're going, and
Mm.
you're being exhausted. And yes, your clients may pay you, and they may pay you pretty well, but it's nothing like a person, a simple human saying thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for just saying thank you to me and for giving me flowers because most of the time people do this when people are gone. Like most
Yeah.
of the time people get on, they talk about how
Yes.
amazing people are when someone is gone. But
Yeah.
for you to say that, and I'm just a country boy from Mississippi who has always longed for somebody to like my creativity
Yeah.
in any kind of way. And so you were one of the people who came along throughout my path with Johnny and everybody
I was
and
about to
just came.
say, no, tell the story. Like, tell the story because I was telling
Yeah,
someone the story earlier. I was like, Jay Bolin and I first worked together years and
yeah, no,
years
we go
ago,
way back.
before I was even on a television show.
Yeah, we go way back. And I actually have those photos. So it brought up memories in my phone the other
Yeah.
day. And it was nothing but good moments. And this is when I first met you, you were short and blonde then.
Yep.
Your hair was
Yep.
short and blonde then.
Yep.
And I think you were going to a few events and I came in, I
Yep.
styled you for the event and we did a photo shoot as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
And
At
Huntsville,
Charles
and
Beazer Studio. I was
yes,
hosting the red carpet for the 100 Black Men of
that's
Greater
what
Huntsville,
it
their
was.
gala. I was hosting the red carpet. Uh
That's
huh.
exactly what it was.
Yep.
I had you on staircases posing
Yep.
and
Yep.
everything. At that time, I didn't have like, fancy photographers taking pictures everywhere. I
Yeah.
was literally taking pictures with my cell
And you were.
phone and you were
Yep.
and you were still by my
Yeah.
side. Like
Yeah.
even
Oh.
when I didn't have the fabulous whatever, right? The
Yeah.
fabulous office. I think at the time I met you, Mel, I was broke as I don't know what. I was literally just trying to
Wow.
make it. And I had so many different celebrity names under my belt, but yet I
Wow.
was still struggling. I was still
Wow.
struggling because I didn't know how to take care of money. I wasn't really getting paid money. I was doing everything, for the low or for free
Yeah.
until I somewhere along the way found out my value
Yeah.
and got enough boldness and
Yeah.
confidence to say, you
Yeah.
know what, I feel capable and I feel
Mm.
like I'm ready to receive what God can
Mm.
do. And you
I
were
was
by
gonna
my side in
ask
that
you.
broke moment, girl.
Yeah, I mean, really. And I was going to ask you, what do you feel was it that caused you or allowed you to move past not knowing if I'm going to be able to continue this, but I
Yeah.
love doing what I'm doing. Like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, how did you find the strength, the courage, the perseverance to keep going, even when it wasn't putting the money in your pocket that you needed it to put?
You know what? I think once you have, I'll tell you what my wife and I used to do. We would go to Logan's restaurant
Hmm.
and we would go and we would get biscuits. We would get like the little free rolls they would
Yeah,
come out with, and they would bring us
yeah,
out what we get water because we knew those were the two free things that you could get from there because we didn't have anything to even eat at the time. And I was Jay Bolin then.
wow.
And we would go in and I knew that the yeast
Mm,
would fill my belly up if I got water in my stomach. I don't know where I found this logic at, but I
mm,
found it out along
mm,
the way, and
mm.
that's what would fill our bellies up at night, and we would go home. And I mean, obviously, it may be bad for us now that we're getting older, but that's what we had to do to survive at that moment. And I just remember one day just really saying, "I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore." I remember having to go and live. I was living deep
Mm.
off in the projects as Jay Bolin and was scared to walk in and out of my home. People were breaking into my house because they knew that I didn't belong there. I'm walking in with blazers on and
Yeah,
my slacks on, and I'm like it didn't matter to me where I was. Like it was my culture. These are my people. It doesn't matter to me, but I had to do what I had to do in order to start life over and to like literally go back in and rebuild my infrastructure, whether it was my credit that I made really bad decisions or whether
yeah,
it was me working for free which was not necessarily a bad decision, but I wasn't looking at it as an investment at the time. I was
Mhm.
looking at it as though I was just working for free. So now
Yeah.
I know that it's marketing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had some
Yeah.
really, really tough moments. Even when I was in the projects, I still couldn't take care. Mom would come home and my lights were off. My lights were off, and then I would
Ugh.
have to tell my son. We will tell a lie to my son and say, "Oh, the weather is bad outside." You know what I mean? Just so he would think that something was going on. Oh, the whole neighborhood lights are out. Just so he would think that like dad, I didn't want him to look at his dad like his dad was a failure. And then I didn't want the men in the community in Mississippi. I'm from the country, so they're like, "What the heck is a stylist? Boy, you better get your butt up and go to work
Yeah.
and get you a job and take care of
Right.
your family
Right.
while you are here seeking a dream." And
Mm.
I never wanted to let that dream go. And I just kept hearing God say, "I got you." And
Yeah.
I'm like, really? You really got me?
Wow.
Because it doesn't feel like you got me.
And sometimes
But
it doesn't feel like that in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, what a beautiful testimony. And look at where you are now. And I'm going to say this because I can say it and I've been to your place. Not only has God blessed you triple fold, right? From where you were then. I mean, you're employing people. Let me tell you guys something. The J Bolin agency really is a whole thing. He has a whole team who works every day,
yeah.
and they're there every time I come. So, to hear right now you share, because you've never shared that with me, but like, my God, you know what I'm saying? To hear
Yeah.
you share how things started and for me to be able to physically see where I see you are now.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why you don't like most of us don't share it most of the time, and I'm probably the main one.
Mm,
You don't share it out of shame, and then you don't share it out of. I feel like when you first start off and whatever it is that you're doing, you start off and you don't have a name at all. Then you do everything extremely fearlessly, like you just do it extremely fearless, right? And I feel
mm,
like once you start to gain a name, then that comes with this whole thing of what you're supposed to have and what it's supposed to look
mm,
like. So then you have a fear of opening up your mouth to ask for help because you don't want people to know that you don't have. And then you have this fear of sharing with other people because it's supposed to look like you're supposed to have. So you get in this really awkward, weird place. And so I always reflect back to the moment where I was sitting in an event one day, and this makes me emotional. But I was sitting in this event one day, and this I was working with this young lady that was in a pageant, and I remember seeing a room, and there was kings and queens from Africa in the room, and I was like, bet, like this is where I'm supposed to be. Like
yeah,
for real, this is where I'm supposed to be at.